Hey there, today I'm going to show you how to draw Chibi Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Now we're going to start in the middle of the face with the eyes. We're going to start with the curve above the brow for the left eye first. So starting on the outside, we're going to curve down towards the center. Starting on the outside, we'll curve down towards the center. From here, we're going to curve up the front. Okay, so for a little brow line. Now let's go ahead and flip that over for the right side. So we're going to start at the top, curve down, making sure that they're at the same height. Now we're going to curve up the top edge of the brow to the outside. From here, let's curve in the eyeballs. So we're going to start on the left side, stepping in a little bit. We're going to draw a circle tucked in underneath the brow. So starting on the top, curve around, and up in the middle there. Let's go ahead and draw the same thing on the right side. So starting up here, curve around, and tuck this in underneath the brow. Let's give the eyes some bags. So we're going to start at the top here again. I'm just going to curve out, so we're taking out a little line like this. Do the same thing on the right side. Now from this point, we're going to have to do some layering. So we're going to have to move down towards the mouth area and draw in the mouth vent before we draw in the other details. So we're going to draw the chin down to about here, and with all my chibis, I try to keep the lower portion of the face pretty short. So right here, on the side edge of the eye, right in here, we're going to come down and draw a point. On the right side, we're going to come down and draw a point. Now we're going to connect those points with a curve that comes up to the top of the mouth vent, which will be right about here. So starting on the left, curve up, and we'll curve down on the right side. Let's draw a little bit of detail in here before we go to the side of the face. So right from this end, we're going to draw a straight line angled in towards the center of the face. Same thing on the right side. So two short little lines. From here, I'm going to curve up and just tuck this in underneath the top edge, just to give it a little bit of perspective. Do the same thing on the right side. Now from here, we're going to connect these 2 points with a straight line. Let's go ahead and draw a little bit of detail. Up here, we're just going to draw a straight line across. And we're almost going to create like a T shape. So we're going to come down a little bit and go in, leave a little gap in the middle, and draw the rest on the right side. From here, we're going to take these 2 points and just draw 2 straight lines coming down. From here, now we can draw on the outer perimeter of the face. So from these 2 points, we're going to curve out towards the jaw. So I want to draw the jaw pretty low towards the bottom of the chin. So from right about here, I'm going to curve in towards the point. And then on the right side, we'll draw the same thing. So curving up, making sure they're roughly the same height. From here, we're going to curve up to the side of the temples. So from here, I'm going to come up to about this height, just above the eyes, with a curve. And you can see that I'm pulling the line towards myself. It's a little bit hard to draw away from my body. So up here, we're going to draw the same thing. So curving down towards that point in the jaw. Now from here, we're going to curve up to a point on the side, just on the side of the eyes here. So if I look at the side of the eyes here and go straight up, I want to draw a curve that goes in. So it's almost like a chiseled edge to the top of the head. Now from here, we're going to just draw a curve that connects those 2 points together. I'm just going to make this line a little bit longer, and we're just going to curve off the top of the head. And this is probably the trickiest part of this drawing, is just getting the measurements and the dimensions of the head right. From this point at the top here on the left, I'm going to curve down just on the outside of the eye and come down to about a point down here. This is just part of the mask that gets overlaid on top. Just like that. Go to this side. We're going to take that point up here and curve down to the same point on the right side. So curving down. So now we're going to draw the top edge of the mask. So just above the eyes, we're going to draw a curve from left to right. Just like this. And then from here, let's go ahead and draw the top edge of the mask. So from just underneath the left eye to the right, I'm going to draw a curve that goes around that mouth vent. So going up and then down. It's quite flat curve. It's not round. From here, I'm going to curve up and just tuck this in underneath the side of the mask. Like that. And on the right side, we'll do the same thing. Now for the cheeks, there's a curve that comes down to here. So just underneath this line on the left, come down here and curve in the opposite direction, coming down. On the right side, we'll do the same thing. So curving up and tucking that underneath there. Okay, so we got the mask. Let's get into the body. Now, with the body, he wears a vest or a tunic that has some big shoulders that come out. So I'm going to draw the waist down to about here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the left side here and just draw a curve going down the edge of the waist. And you can see I'm leaving a gap here because I want to do a little overlap for the shoulders. I'm going to come down a little bit and draw a curve going underneath the chin. Let's go to the right side and draw the same thing. So from this point on the top, curve down to the same height as I have on the left, and then we're going to step down here and draw that shoulder piece that comes up. From here, let's draw in a little trim on the shoulder. So we're just going to step in a little bit and draw a little trim, tuck that in underneath the side of the body there. Okay, let's get down to the waist and draw in the belt. So I'm going to draw the belt buckle first. We start with a big circle, starting from the top, curve down towards the bottom, and then back up towards the top again. Let's trace this out, and we're going to draw this twice. So we're going to draw a slightly smaller circle inside, like that. And in the middle, we're going to draw a skull, a very simple skull. We're going to start at the bottom here. We're going to draw a straight line going across the bottom, 2 short lines coming up, and we're going to connect those 2 points with a circle. And we don't want to touch the inner circle as we do this. Okay, so there's a little gap around there. On the left side here, I'm going to color in a circle, and on the right, we'll do the same thing for the eyes of the skull. And then in between here, we're just going to draw 2 short lines going across. Very simple skull. From here, let's go ahead and draw the belt. So from this point, I'm going to curve and tuck this in underneath the buckle, and then on the right side, we'll continue on just like that. We're going to move up and draw the top edge of the belt, tucking it underneath the buckle, and then back out on the right side. Now in the middle here, we're going to give them a little V. Starting on underneath this chin here, I'm going to draw a curve that goes to the center of the body, so the top center of this buckle. And then on the right side, we'll do the same thing. So coming in and just connecting in the center there. Now we want to draw some of those little details on the side of the vest. So there's these little shapes, almost like squares, that come up along the body here. So there's 1, 2, 3 that come up. So I'm going to start at the bottom here. I'm just going to trace this outer edge, going up with a short line, going across with a straight line, and then coming down underneath that buckle, just like I have this curve here. We're going to go up and just draw a straight line across, leaving a gap on either end. We're going to go up, curving up, and straight line across. So you can see that there's 2 chunks right there. We move up again and do 1 more piece. So going up, go up a little bit, curve up on the side, and then just close that off at the top. Let's go ahead and draw that exact same thing on the right side. So starting at the bottom, inner edge will go across, and then come down. Step up a little bit, straight line across. We're going to trace that inner sort of vest V, going across and then down the side, and then finally that little piece on top, up, across, and then down. Okay, so that's as much detail as we want to add to the vest. Let's get down to the lower part of the body. So we've got this little flap of fabric that comes down the middle. I'm going to draw the legs down to about here, the feet. So about halfway, I'm going to draw 2 lines coming down, and then I connect it with a straight line going across. And we're just going to trace this edge here with a thicker line. So coming across this way, across the bottom, and then straight down. From here, now we can put the legs underneath, because this flap actually overlaps on top of the legs. So if we draw the feet down to here, we're going to step in on the left side from this point and curve down towards the heel. On the right side, we'll do the same thing. So curving down towards the heel. Let's draw the flats for the bottom of the feet. So from here, I'm going to go out towards the toe. So straight line going across the bottom. Let's go ahead and draw the same thing on the right side, just so we're balancing this out. From here, I'm going to take this point, curve the top part of the foot, like this, and then coming down, I'm just going to stop right about there. From here, I'm going to draw a straight line going back towards the back of the leg. At the bottom here, I'm just going to trace this out for the sole of the boot. Now from here, I want to connect the top of this foot to the hip there. So I'm going to draw a curve. This goes right into that point of that hip. And for some simple detail on the legs, we're going to draw the shin guards. So up at the front here, I'm going to curve, round out, come down, and then back and flatten out as I get towards the back of the leg. For a little bit of detail, I'm just going to trim this out. So I'm going to trace the top edge. I'm going to take this point and come straight into the top of that foot there. I'm going to draw a little strap coming across here. So I'm just going to draw 1 curve and 2 curves. And then right in here, I'm just going to draw a little rectangle. So it looks like this little hook on there. Let's go ahead and draw the same thing on the right side. So we're going to start with the top of the foot. We're going to curve around the top of the foot. And then we're going to go straight back towards the back of the feet, or the leg, and trim out the sole. Now we're going to draw from the hip down to the top of the foot here. So up here we're just going to curve down to the top of the foot. Let's draw that shin guard. So up here, want to make sure it's the same height. Curve down, and then flatten out. Let's go ahead and trim out that little detail. So coming down in the front, straight down into the top of the foot. Now let's draw that little strap that we did on this side. Curving in to that shin guard, and then a tiny little rectangle on top. Now there's some side parts of the vest that kind of scoop down on the side of the hip, so we're just going to draw that in very simply. So from this point, I'm going to curve up underneath that belt buckle. I want to trim this out as well, so I'm going to draw a little trim, just like I did in the middle here. Let's draw that same thing on the right side. So coming into that point of the shin guard, and trimming that out. The final step, we're going to draw on the arms. So I'm just going to have the arms on the side, starting with the inside part of the arm. So from this point, I want to curve down towards the wrist, which would be probably about belt height. So from here, I'm going to curve down. Let's round out the thumb. So I'm doing a little bump. It comes out like this. I'm going to draw a little bracket. From here, I'm going to step over and wrap the first finger around that bracket. And we're going to do a series of overlaps. So we're going to draw 2. And then for the third finger, I'm going to curve up and then tuck this in underneath the chin. So it comes into that point in the shoulder guard there. Now let's draw on the gloves. Up here, I'm going to do something similar to what I did with the shin guards here. So up here, I'll curve around, come down, and then right into the inside part of the arm. We're going to trim out the top, coming across like this, come straight down, and then I'm going to curve back to the outside part of the arm. Let's give him some fingerless gloves. So from this point of the bracket, I'm just going to curve around the thumb. From here, on this finger, I'm just going to curve around. Up here, we'll curve around. And then here as well. So there's like little fingerless gloves there. Let's go ahead and flip this arm over on the right side. So starting on the top, underneath this armpit, we're going to come down towards the thumb. So curving down towards the thumb. We'll do a little bump out for the thumb, and we'll create that little bracket. Let's go over a bit and draw the first finger. So wrapping this around that little bracket there, doing an overlap. And now for the third finger, we're going to curve and then right into that point in the shoulder. So curving around, right into that shoulder there. Let's draw in the arm guard. So up here, curve around, come down, and then flatten out. We're going to trim this out on top for a little detail. Go straight down at an angle, and then we're going to round out the bottom. Let's draw on the fingerless gloves. So from this point in the bracket, we're going to curve around the thumb. Down here, we'll curve around here. The second finger, and the third finger. And that is pretty much it. There we have it. There's Chibi Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Please give us a like and share this with your friends. And make sure you check out our Chibi playlist. I have a ton of characters in there. I'll be adding more every week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.